Hello everyone, Dave here from Barmetrics and the Bar Shift. Let me kick off today with saying thank you to all of you who have bought a copy of the Bar Shift or supported this channel over the year. It's been just a wonderful first year in terms of the book and the support behind it. So from the bottom of our hearts, Dave and I both, we'd like to thank you for that support. From my family to yours, I wish you nothing but the very best in this holiday season. We just had the biggest sales day ever just yesterday, so that was really cool. So things are moving right along. With that said, I thought today we would tackle the subject of communication. We touched on this last video, which was my inspiration to do this video. I think there's more meat on the bone, and I want to go after that. There might not be a more important tool that any leader, manager, owner possesses than the ability to communicate a message, to communicate a desire, to communicate a mission. Why do we do this? How do we do this? What do we do? All that stuff all falls on the head of a pin that is communication. If we can't communicate that which we want, we're very likely not to receive it. Makes perfect sense. But all too often, as we talked about in the last video, I'll go into a venue and I'll say, hey, does everyone know this? We're in bars and restaurants every day, as you guys know. This is a continual theme. And managers and owners will say yes, and then the staff will say no. Why does that happen? Let's dig into that a little bit more, a little deeper. I think shift meetings should happen every single day without exception. And everyone who is communicating a message has to get really good about how we do that. There's a great chapter in the Bar Shift on that. Again, another plug. But there is. And it is. And it's a skill I learned almost 30 years ago when I worked at UPS. There's a very specific way you go about communicating clear, concise messages. Short time frame. It's not a 20-minute sort of rolling thought. It's not a whole bunch of Q&A back and forth. It's 2 to 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, 2 to 3 topics. And here's what we're here to talk about. At the end, have them repeat it back to you. What did we talk about today? We go through and have them make sure message is received. At the end of that, we can do a little bit of Q&A. And then if there's people who always sort of want to blow up the meetings and talk about other things, and yeah, what about this? What about that? What if, we dismiss the meetings and we'll take that offline one-on-one. So the point of part one of this particular video is the frequency matters. We need to communicate every single day, clearly and concisely, narrow topics, short windows. Communicating something one time, if only it were true, if only all we had to do was tell somebody a thing one time, what a wonderful world it would be, right? But that's not the world we live in. Communicating something one time is simply a good start. We're just getting out of the gates. There's a whole race to be run still. So the second part is we need to see our communication into observable action. It is what we said happening on the floor. That needs to be a very tangible for us. And if our words aren't converting to action, we need to go back at it again. So it's about the time when people start saying, enough already. When people start repeating what you're about to say back to them, that's when you know that, all right, we're getting there. The message at that point is starting to stick. We need to coach in the moment as well. So we communicate a thing, and then on the floor, when we see that being executed the way we want to go reward that behavior, reinforce it. Hey, good job. And let other people see you rewarding that and reinforcing it. And the reverse is true. When it's not happening, we need to go say, hey, pull people aside and go, remember what we talked about? Have them tell you what you talked about. Don't give all the answers to the quiz. Hey, what did we talk about in the meeting? Remember that? What did we say to do? Okay, why did we say to do it? Okay, so you got it, 100%. Yes, get people to commit to that. Yes, I have it. Have people say back to you what it is that you expect. Confirm that they heard what happened in the meeting is a great follow-up tool, right? So communicate. We want to see observable action. We want to follow up, coach in the moment, pro and con. And then the final piece is there has to be consequence. Now, we can't jump right from communication to consequence. There's always going to be management in between which is why we all have jobs in management and leadership, right? The in-between is the marrow of the business, but there does have to be bite, not just bark. So if we have done our job on the communication side, which is to say we have repeatedly and clearly communicated a thing, and we're getting everyone on board, but there's some outliers that are just not listening or just don't care, well, it becomes real easy. We have some decisions to make with those folks. Remember, talented people typically like structure. Talented people want to work with other talented people. And the reverse is true. So beware how this thing can snowball on you, and also how it can gain positive momentum for you. So see, communicate clearly, concisely, often. Keep it short, narrow. Second is follow-up. Make sure that we see our words convert to action on the floor, observable action. Coach in the moment, pro and con. And then finally, there does have to be consequence in the business. People have to know you mean business. And you figure out what that looks like for your business, right? Sort of the performance improvement process and that sort of thing. That should be a very structured program you have as well. Maybe that's the next video, is what is a good performance improvement, or we used to call them PIPs. What does a good PIP process look like for you and your business? I'll take a note of that, and maybe that is a good follow-up. So C, F, A, happy holidays, my friends. I wish from my family to yours, I wish you nothing but the best. And like I said, thank you for all your support of the channel and the book over this past year, and we'll see you soon.